This is our best driver tip. If you want to hit longer drives moving forward into 2024, make sure you hit that subscribe button, throw a like on this video. Guys, welcome to Get Good at Golf. So we all want to hit longer drives, and we also know that in 2024, the coming weeks, there will be new drivers released to the market, and everyone will go, oh, I'm gonna have to buy that because it might give me an extra 10, extra 20, even an extra 30 yards, which if you're fitted into a poorly fitted driver, then it maybe could do with the right fitting. But I guarantee if you watch this video, you implement all these tips and you haven't done them yet, then you will pick up distance with your driver for free. The first thing we're going to talk about is how to set up to a driver and why we set up to a driver so differently. You see, I see people who set up to a driver really narrow, forward shaft lean, and if this was a 7-iron, you think, oh, that actually looks really good because I'm going to compress the ball down into the turf, it's going to spin up in the air, and that's going to give me the desired distance that I want. Whereas really what we want to do, we want to stand a lot wider, get that ball position forward, and I feel like a lot of people will be going, James, we know that. We know we have to stand wider, we know the ball position's forward, but do you really understand why? That's what you've got to ask yourself, because in the coming months for Get Good at Golf, we're going to delve more into why you have to do certain things to get good at golf, and the reason why you have to have the ball teed up. First of all, you could hit it off the deck if you wanted to, but I personally think, I don't know why you would, because it's always easier off a tee, you can get the more optimum launch conditions. And I want the ball just inside your left big toe here for a right-handed golfer. I also want a nice wide stance so I can load up to the top of my backswing here, and what this allows me to do is rotate down, hence I said rotate here. The key is in rotation, not in a lateral movement to the left, and from there I can get my driver low to the ground early. That's key, because if I get my driver low to the ground early and I keep rotating, as I said, rotate, not slide, I can release that driver up towards the ball. I want to hit the ball on the way up, so the low point of this driver is pre-impact. And you may say, James, I've heard this before, I've heard it on lots of different YouTube channels, and I've heard it in my lessons, but if you don't do that, you're not going to get the optimum strike conditions for you to hit long drives. Because what we want to do is we want to hit the ball obviously out the middle of the face, but potentially a little bit higher up here, so we get a nice low spin ball flight that launches nice and high and doesn't have too much movement left or right on it. That's exactly what setting up like that does. And rather than going and spending a load of money on a new driver, this could really transform your game in 2024 and hit drives just like that one. Guys, Chris is now going to give us a couple of drills that you can do to help you do that. That's probably one of the best drives I've hit all year. It's amazing how when we talk through these really simple tips for you, we start hitting the ball better as well, because sometimes we could all do with a refresher.
Right, so drills, guys, all we're going to need is we've got one tee there, and we're going to make sure that we tee it up nice and high, because one big thing we see from a lot of golfers is they tee it a little bit too low. That's encouraging you to hit down on the golf ball. We see a lot of golfers slice the golf ball. If we're hitting down, the club's working left, and we start to see a lot of golf balls in the rough over there where Connor on the green staff found 90 Pro V1s. Maybe a few of those were his, but he's stocked up for next year. So what we need is another tee here, and we're going to place that just in front of the golf ball, so get a similar height there. So again, around about a club width in front of that, and at the same height we've got this golf ball teed up at. And the reason is we're trying to get you hitting up on that golf ball and starting to get some feedback. We can certainly see if we miss that tee, again, some people say club heads, it's very much easy out on a golf course just to put a tee in there. If you're at a driving range, you might have a spare rubber tee there. Just get that in front and starting to work there. Once we've got into that setup position where the ball is just on our big toe, we've then made sure that we are angled back a little bit with our spine. For me, to get hitting up on that ball, we have to think about our tempo. A lot of people with this club think, right, because it's my driver, I've got to hit it as hard as possible. I'm going to swing 10 out of 10. We get to the top, everything goes at him, I'm hitting that golf ball, we take a little divot and we see that big slice. We want this golf club to be swinging, and we don't want to be hitting at that golf ball. So once I'm here, I've got my setup, I'm angled a little behind, I want you to think, right, I'm swinging 8 out of 10. I want to get into my finish position, be able to hold that and still see that tee in the ground. If we do those things like James mentioned, if we control our tempo, make sure we're swinging within ourselves, we're going to miss that tee. And we're going to hit nice drives like that, Similar ball flight to James, a little fade there, but main thing, straight up the middle, and I've got both tees in there. That was a centered strike. We've hit up on the golf ball. We've launched it well with low spin. It's a long way down there, guys. If you can do that in this winter, you'll hit better drives in 2024, lower your scores, and get good at golf.